2-point conversions and going forward on fourth down were a major controversy for the Ravens last few seasons. But what should it be like this season? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content. I normally say every single day, but it's been a while. It's been about a week. I do apologize for that. If you guys didn't know, I got sick last week. I was wiped out. I couldn't do anything. It was the longest I've gone without making a video in a very long time. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be making videos again. If you don't know, Ravens content every day here. I'm also going to try and get at least one video non-Ravens related on this page, as well as returning to making play action football content as well. So very excited for all of that. But like I said in the intro, which hopefully you guys like the new layout, going to try and do an intro, and then I do have this new intro. Shout out to the new intro. And then I'll kind of do the overall, spewage. So you guys just get a general idea initially, and then get to see me talk a little bit more after a little bit of intro music. But let me know your thoughts on it. I think I'm a big fan of it, but if you guys don't like it, we can get rid of it. That's okay. It'll just hurt my feelings a little bit. But let's jump right into it. Let's talk about it, because last season that was my biggest criticism of the Baltimore Ravens was the fourth down attempts. It was hey, the Ravens are in this close game, and then they decided to go for it on fourth down, and maybe it's 4th and 3, 4th and 2. They decided to call a certain play that hasn't been working all game, and it doesn't work again. And they lose the possession, they lose the points, and they go on to lose the game. This was something that was happening under Greg Roman, since 2019, but it was a major problem, because it wasn't necessarily going for it. Because I think a lot of times we all said, myself, Joshua, Ravens fans, we like the idea of going for it. But the play calling would be atrocious when they were going for it. And everybody would look back at it, and it would be John Harbaugh press conferences, it would be Greg Roman press conferences, it would be Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Hollywood, Rashad Bateman. They've all talked about it, and they're like, yeah, we wanted to go for it. And it's like, yes, you did. But in my opinion, one of the biggest and most important roles of a head coach is to be able to tell your superstar, or be able to tell your player no. No, we're not throwing the ball 80 times this game. No, we're not going to keep running up the score when we're up 20. We're going to choose the clock. No, we're not going to go for it again on fourth down. No matter how confident you are in it, it's just not smart football. Because if you guys have ever played any sports, at any level really, it doesn't have to be highly competitive, you want to keep playing, right? If you're playing football and you're an offensive player, you don't want to come out on fourth down. If you guys play Madden, you don't want to kick the field goal. You don't want to punt. No, you want to go for it. Keep the momentum, all that stuff. You're always going to want to go for it. You're always going to believe that you would get it. But over the last couple of years, as more and more, it felt like John Harbaugh was caving in to the idea of pandering to the Ravens offense. Oh man, they just really looked like they wanted to go for it. Yeah. And then they'd go for it and it wouldn't work out. So now that we have a new offensive coordinator, and we do have hopefully better play calling in those situations, how should the Ravens approach it? In my opinion, obviously there's situations where you have to go for it, right? You're down, it's 2 minutes left, you're down by, 6, you're at the 40-yard line. Yeah, go for it. That's a no-brainer. The going for it, the fourth down attempts, the 2-point conversions that I'm talking about are first quarter, right? It's the first drive of the game. It's 4th and 1 at the 37-yard line. You could kick the field goal, but they end up going for it. They don't get it. But now that we have a hopefully competent offensive coordinator, how does that change my stance? And it doesn't necessarily change my stance a whole lot. I fully believe in going for it to establish precedence, to establish momentum, to establish your team as, hey, we're the enforcers of this game. You don't get to set the tone. But with that said, if the Ravens are struggling throughout the season going for it, don't continue to do it. Going forward on fourth down is something where you have to prove, okay, you can do it. So then all of a sudden people start going, okay, we should do it. Because last year I want to say the Ravens were around 40% on fourth down attempts, which is bad because most of those weren't necessary. And instead of opponents getting the ball at the 10-yard line, 15-yard line, they're getting it at the 50. And you're like, oh man, that sucks. But they didn't have an offense for it. I think the best example is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to say 2017, 2016. They started doing this thing where they would score touchdowns. The first touchdown of the game, every game, they went for 2. And this was with the killer bees, as they called them. And that's what they did. And it was like, huh. And they actually had a good 2-point conversion offense. And it was like, okay, they're able to establish tone in that sense. And I'm okay with it from that perspective because they had an offense for it. The Ravens, I think, need to utilize the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season and go for it a lot. Go for it a lot. I have no problem with going for it. Don't go for it 4th and 3 on your own 30. Go for it on 4th and 1 in midfield. Those sorts of things. Do that. No problem with that. Call a bunch of different types of plays. Figure out what works. If it's not working, stop. Because that's what they didn't do. They didn't stop with Greg Roman. They just kept trying it. That is the biggest thing, honestly, not even just for these 4th downs and these 2-point conversions. It's just the Ravens. When stuff stops working, when stuff isn't working, adapt, pivot, do something different, because that's something they haven't done. They have pigeonholed themselves into becoming an exact team that doesn't change, and it's destroyed them the last couple of seasons. When I'm looking at this Ravens offense and going forward on 4th down and then being aggressive for 2-point conversions, all for it. Go for it, Todd Monken. But if it's not working and it's halfway through the season, don't do it anymore. That's my position on it. Try it. Test it out. And if you can't get it to work, pull back. I don't think it's that complicated. I don't think that's a crazy take. But let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts, what you think the Ravens should do in terms of being aggressive and going for it on 4th down and 2-point conversions. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. Hopefully you like the new outro as well. And I'll see all of you again next time.